This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is DG Chichester, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 200 of the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me as always, that ever-expanding stash in New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa. Now with Fort Beard.
And getting quieter and quieter every week in Florida. It is.
Hello, it's me.
See? And, of course, it's episode 200, so we had a special guest. Well, we did, but then we ended up with Rob Southgate.
Hey, everybody, it's Lil Hellfire.
This is getting out of hand. Now there's two of them.
That's right. It's Crisis on Infinite Capes. It's Phil's multiverse.
All hail Master Doom.
We're the multiverse in Rob's omniverse.
Probably very true. Yes.
All right, so we're gonna have a big poo-pooing on DC session, but first, I tried to save it for the show, kids.
It's a fix it. Whoever you believe in, please.
I know, but first, I was gonna ask Rob about WandaVision, but him and Charlie could not wait. So, what were you gonna say about WandaVision?
Again.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Charlie and I had to get into it a little bit, but come on, you've got the original host of Nuff Said with the new host of Nuff Said. Of course, we're going to talk about WandaVision. WandaVision was awesome. I think that there are, some people were disappointed in the end. I wasn't at all. It was a concise story. It was a story. It was a comic book story, and it was great.
We knew before it started. They said it was going to go into Doctor Strange too. So they're
not going to do the complete story of House of M as a 8-episode show on Disney Plus. They're just not going to do it.
Yeah, with half-hour episodes, no.
So I do think it's funny though when the show started, the first couple episodes, they released them first, and if you were reading online, a lot of people were saying, I didn't really like it. I don't know why they're going with sitcoms. I don't get it. And I thought, boy, this is where you're seeing that dividing line for people that actually read comics, because I knew the second it started, I knew, she's hexing the town. The whole thing was right there. And then you kept seeing the hexes behind him. Like, this could not be more obvious. I thought it was
just at
great.
The end of the first episode, you immediately get, look, someone is outside of it watching it.
Right.
So,
although I was surprised, I didn't know it was Darcy.
No, I was really disappointed that wasn't Simmons. So
yeah, right. And and then at the end, they kind of let Darcy drift off into the moonlight. That was too bad. Yeah. I thought they kind of dropped that. They had a really nice storyline kind of going there with Darcy and what's his name.
She probably had to run and get the Thor: Love and Thunder or something.
Oh yeah, I wanted a little bit more there, but I thought it was great. I had a lot of fun with it.
Well, we all want more Kat Denning, Rob. It's okay. We all want more Kat Denning.
I do. I love her in those movies.
No, well, she's great, but I also think I get the feeling that they wanted her out of there because, just like White Vision, they didn't want to nail her into a position that they didn't have a place to put her yet. Because I think I actually think WandaVision 2, or whatever, or Vision.
If we're getting it.
Series. We're getting it.
I'm pretty sure they said that I think Wanda and Vision at least are showing up in Doctor Strange too. And who doesn't think Vision downloaded at least part of himself in the White Vision? Come on.
Vision will be back. Yeah, the next time we see him will be in one of the movies. He'll show up, and now you'll have that moment of the Avengers or whoever the Avengers are in that movie going, wait a minute, isn't he dead? You're going to get it.
We'll see how they do. I actually, if you listen to the next episode of Nuff Said, which Maz and I recorded the other day, you actually hear what will happen to Vision Mark my words.
Oh!
Because I do think his arc is going to somewhat mirror stuff that we've seen, and the idea of now that Vision is essentially himself without the Mind Stone, without the outside influence, it's going to be about him rebuilding who he was and rebuilding his soul. I think that actually is something that you're going to have to do like this in a series format. I don't think that's going to work in a movie.
I do think it's interesting that they're going to have his memories go up to that moment when he said, "I am Vision," and he flew out. So he wasn't there for what happened after that. You know what I mean?
True,
that's really
because
interesting.
that's something else.
I
get into that.
I don't know.
I don't want to spoil enough set
And I love
for those who haven't seen it yet.
And I love you two. They're like, oh, there was no big villain. What about Hayward? He's going to shoot those kids in the street. Don't tell me Hayward wasn't a villain.
Hayward. Well, I've been saying Hayward is a villain.
Yeah,
Hayward
they dropped the ball on
as...
Hayward. They should have made him more the villain that he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well,
that's okay. I still love the show.
Well, I think they cut it short early. I think there was supposed to be at least another episode or two.
There was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said that there. Well, and it also, if you go back, they were supposed to have. They said they had 10 hours of WandaVision, and we got 8.5.
Release the shake. Cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there was probably a lot more that they could have done, and maybe they are. Here's the thing: they can go back and they can add stuff later, just like they're doing with that. Snyder guy stuff.
Well, I think they said
the other thing they could do is they could take that last episode, because it does take place after she was there. If they wanted to tie into Doctor Strange 2, if that really ties it even more, they could do a one-off, hour episode just before Doctor Strange 2. Who's not going to watch that? I'm going to watch it.
Oh yeah,
watch the heck out of that.
And we'll have to,
they could also make it a tie-in comic,
and
the prequel comics, which is
and like
is a thing you can do.
And keep an eye on Falcon and Winter Soldier next week, because that was supposed to air, I think, before WandaVision, but then I guess they had to film more stuff. Yeah,
that was one of the points that someone had made recently. Was like, you realize that this was actually supposed to be like the fourth thing that Marvel released. That it was supposed to go like Falcon, Winter Soldier. Or it was actually supposed to go Black Widow, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Eternals, then WandaVision. And it's like, obviously if they were going to do mutants, they would have been written a lot before that. Like Eternals is like, oh, that's probably where you might hear about mutants. Right. Or Black Widow, oh yeah, I can totally see, meeting Ursa Major in that prison with Red Guardian. That there's lots of...
Did you guys hear the rumor that Red Guardian shows up in Winter Soldier?
I have not heard that. But
that rumor, I heard that we're going to have at least a scene, whether it's a flashback or something else, but that he's in there, which is really interesting that they would let him debut there before we see Black Widow.
There's so many rumors. I heard, I think Moz even said it to Charlie. There's a rumor about Wolverine. You know why? Because I think Madripoor is going to be in Falcon and Winter Soldier, so everyone's of course is screaming Wolverine.
I mean, if there's a rumor about Wolverine, I'm the one that probably started it. But I think I started those back on Enough Said originally.
No, that's not your rumor. I heard you were all over the internet posting, Rom Space Knight is coming to the MCU.
Rom's not coming anywhere until Marvel gets the toy rights back.
Actually, who is it that has it? Is it IDW? Who has it?
Yeah.
Because I interviewed Guy Dorian Sr., who does... Well, I interviewed Guy Dorian Sr., who he does the Rom Dire Wraiths comic, which is phenomenal. But he said they have the rights. He said, you're not going to see Rom done until Marvel finds a way to get it back.
Until they back the truck up.
Expensive, and they're just not. It's not going to happen. But these new Rom books are so good. Oh my god! Are
they Rom books or are they Space Knights books?
Space Knights books, but they're Rom. Rom is the character.
They have the trademark for Rom over there. So
and they're using no because Rom is a Space Knight. The Space Knight is generic enough that anyone can be a Space Knight.
I was going to say I think Marvel
is Rom.
I think Marvel sometimes has
it's about crew of Space Knights, but Rom is the central figure to it. It's cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought they would have
I mean,
been able to use the Dire Wraiths. I would have thought the Dire Wraiths were Marvel produced, but maybe I'd never had the toy, so I don't know if that was written on the back of the toy that they were fighting Dire Wraiths.
I don't know, but it's no Riverwood. I'll tell you that, right? Well,
What?
Yeah.
I had to give her a little Riverwood shout out there, Riverdale, whatever it is,
Riverdale.
I don't know what's going on.
Chippendale,
You don't know.
whatever that is.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, I hear a Lil's made it into the show.
That's right. That's the only drop of a little.
I don't know what's
Does he
going
know
on.
it's on there? That's awesome.
Just like that last time you and him were both on.
Can I got to tell you, I have a long game punk of a Lil that he doesn't know is coming.
Oh.
And you know he doesn't listen to any of this. One of their fans on his show on League of Geeks, a guy that's always on their Facebook stuff, and he's actually been on their show, is a guy that the reason he found all of that was because he was a super fan of Nuff Said, this guy.
Oh.
So he and I have written a lot, and Lil, I always troll Lil and tell him, like, oh, Lil came here because he loves me, and Lil's like, oh, no. So I was talking to this guy, and I said, hey, man, next time you're on, bring that up. But don't bring it up like you heard me. Just be like, remember that episode when you first were talking about Nuff Said? Because that's how I found him. Man, I couldn't believe it. You loved Rob so much. So he's going to lay that on him at some point.
Please kick me
On
in the
his own
pants.
show. It's going to be awesome.
Please kick me in the pants.
Ooh, is that me?
Yes.
Please kick me in the pants.
We have lots of Rob.
We got lots of Rob.
Yes.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
So do we want to jump
Yeah.
to DC? Or
I was gonna say let's
on the ship that's rated of Marvel.
let's talk some DCEU, or as Lilith has branded it, DCEU.
Ew.
Is it DCPU?
No, Lilith
Wait,
is
is there a
DCEU.
DCEU? What does that even mean? I mean, really, what does that even mean to say there's a D? Because even Sanders said, "Oh yeah, no, Whedon's is the one that's canon," as if there was even canon to the DCEU.
Yeah, what are they talking about? By the time, I mean,
Yes.
they blew it by the next movie. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
and what is with this Flash movie? They're adding everybody, and Billy Crudup is out of it now again. I mean, it's a
well, I
mess.
tell you what the Flash movie is going to be. It's going to be the thing. They're going to do what they're doing with Multiverse of Madness.
It's their Days of Future Past. They're going to erase whatever they don't want, and
That's
then
exactly what they're going to do.
Well, hopefully it's
They're-
Ezra Miller.
You're going to see all these. You're going to see all these different versions of the characters, and you can be like, "Oh, cool! They're all on screen together, and they're doing this." And at the end of it, all this stuff is going to be wiped out, and we will have what our teams are, and that's how Gal Gadot can stay and not be with Ben
Well, they're
Affleck,
already on
who's
different
stuff.
Earths, so it doesn't really matter.
Right? It's all such a mess.
she could be standing there with Pattinson.
It's
No,
all such a
they
mess.
specifically said for now, everything, whatever's on Wonder Woman is Poop Earth, and they're got all their hopes on Pattinson's Earth right now. So
What about Joker Earth? That's nothing.
The Joker?
standalone, they're definitely trying to make a sequel, but that's its own standalone little. It's the Superboy Prime of the DC movies. Put it to you.
Yeah, but there actually was there were conversations, because I heard the director say there were conversations about them putting Pattinson's Batman in that.
And Joker.
He'll be too old.
It makes no sense.
No,
It
it's
makes
like
no sense.
it's like a young Batman fighting a really old Joker.
And by the way, I'm going to say it right here.
Who's this, Nicholson?
I'm going to say that right here. I loved that Joker movie. The first two, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight and the Joker, that's your high watermark here. And those are excellent films. Then you get to Batman versus Superman. And then you get to Justice League. I'm waiting for the Snyder cut. Oh, my God.
You
Well,
need
that makes one of us.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be sad. I mean, it's just going to be sad. And just, like I said,
You're going to have fun trying to adjust the color on your TV.
it's
If I can
honestly.
get through season 8 of Game of Thrones, I can get through anything.
You know what? I hear they're going to do a black and white version, and so maybe that's going to be like the. He's like, oh, that's a little less hard on.
Trying
the
to make it
eyes.
look
I don't
artsy.
It is going to
Well,
be.
that's what Snyder loves to do.
He's going to wash it out. I guarantee it. When we see it, it's going to be a little bit more washed out than what we saw. I actually have the original one on right now. while we're talking.
Yeah.
And I'm getting mad
Did
just
it keep
seeing
you
it.
angry?
Yeah, well, I'm watching it going, oh, what a pile. I did like Ezra Miller as the Flash, but they didn't do much with
Oh,
it.
how dare you!
I did.
He
I
don't
liked
know
him
nothing
okay.
about the Flash. Don't listen to him. He don't know.
He was fine. You know, they're all fine. It's just the script was terrible.
Too many.
Here's what I think. It is. It's too many cooks. I think here's the problem.
I was going to say too many weed and upskirts.
Yeah, no kidding. That boy was that obvious. Here's the problem with the whole thing, and we've said it from the beginning. And see, Marvel got really lucky because they were starting to have the same problem where there was the corporate interference, and I think Warner Brothers doesn't understand what to do with this. They just see it as, oh, put the Flash in here and make him run around. People will buy that, right? We can sell stuff. They don't know what's going on here, so they just keep telling them what to do, and it's big money, so people are doing what they're telling them, and that's when you're getting this garbage. And not all of it's garbage. I guess I'm being harsh.
Well, again,
I've liked some things, but as charming as some of Shazam was, I liked Shazam. It was charming. It was fun.
Oh yeah,
I liked Levi or whatever his name is in it. I like it, but is it good?
The second half of that movie was okay.
Here's how you know it'll all be okay: is the final scene of the Flashpoint movie that they're making is just John Wesley's ship coming out and saying, "It's okay, I fixed it," and then.
I'm telling you, if that happens,
You better be Jake.
I will buy that Blu-ray in 2 seconds. That would be awesome.
You better be Jake Garrett because he killed off 90s Flash in the crossover last year.
No, but the idea is, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see Ezra Miller doing the run. He's gonna turn to the skeleton. The Speed Force cracks, yada yada yada, and then in the end, you just see this other speedster coming through, and it's John Wesley's ship.
I was gonna say no, they replaced him with Grant Gustin. Boom.
I was able to fix it. Well, you can do that, but they don't want to.
With the Flash movie.
Yeah, they don't want to tie too closely to the Berlanti verse. They do want to have their own thing, and that's their way. That would be their way of showing. See, we understand. We know what the nerds like.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're not going to bring anybody from those TV shows.
I know.
Just like when they rebooted Superman and everyone was upset because it wasn't Tom Welling, and it's like they're not going to do that. Mm-mm. They're not going to do that. That is its own thing. This is something separate. Now, I'll tell you what. One thing that I actually do like about the DC thing is the fact that it's a mess. I do like that we have this standalone Joker thing. If Pattinson's Batman thing is a thing, I like that. If this type of Justice League film is what this is, I'm good with that. It's when you start tying them together. It's when you start thinking you're going to do that Marvel thing. That's when you're off the mark.
Well, that's
that's
the thing. They've I don't know. I guess maybe because they don't have one guy in Feige, and then they hit a bump and they try to alter course. I mean, Marvel. I mean, they laid out their plan. They stayed the course, and now they're so far behind. They want to be where Marvel's at now, and it's like no, Marvel's put in how many years? Over a decade.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is, I mean, they do have Feige there. You need an actual runner. I think they thought that Whedon was going to be the runner, and hashtag he's not.
He's running for his professional career now.
Yeah,
and actually, I do wonder about that and whether or not they kept Whedon on a much shorter leash at Marvel. Because that's the thing. I am.
Not on the first one. Not on the first one. It was on the second Avengers that they kept him on a shorter leash.
Clearly.
And the second one is where they had him on a shorter leash, and that was where the interference happened. And that was where if they had not backed off, that's when they had the trouble with Edgar Wright, and they had Joss Whedon, who was a loose cannon, and they tried to interfere in the movie and add characters and do all that. That's when they had trouble with Iron Man 2. That's where they had that critical moment. And then they got rid of, what did they call them? The Brain Trust, which was all the comics guys that were trying to do the movie thing, and it wasn't working. And they were taking away Feige's power, and they were letting Whedon play boss. They got rid of all that. I mean, it all went away, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, wait a minute, this all makes a lot more sense.
Well, that's the thing. I actually think a lot of it has to do with whether or not, because I think a lot of it was because essentially what happened at Disney, at Marvel, was that Disney reminded everyone who actually was signing the checks, and made the point that there is no Disney Studios, there is no Marvel Studios, there is Disney.
True.
There is no Marvel TV, there is no.
Right.
All of you guys are just ants on our pile of honey.
Right.
And that's when, basically, when it got to be problematic, that's when Disney stepped in and said,
well, they cleaned house, and they
this
stopped,
guy's in charge.
They stopped that committee. They did, and that's when they gave Feige the power. And he has spent all this time trying to correct some of the TV things, which the Fox deal is really what was key to all of that. That's when, okay, we're going to do Disney Plus. We're done with these Netflix shows, but we own these characters. We just got to wait that out. And they're going to bring some of them back. Some of them they're not.
Well, we'll see.
We will see. Charlie Cox is going to be back as Daredevil. Will he be the permanent Daredevil? I don't know. Will they use Daredevil more than a cameo? I don't know. Jessica Jones, I don't think we're going to see.
Oh,
I wish we
you're
would.
completely wrong on that. You're completely
I love
wrong
her,
on
but
that.
Kristen Ritter said she doesn't want to come back.
Well, we'll see. Like everything, it depends on how much money they want to roll up and where she is in her career.
You know what's interesting? Notice how interesting DC is. We're now talking about Marvel again.
To be fair, because it's, that's the problem. They are too, they are the good and the evil twin. They are the Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Yes.
And and for what it's worth, you always want to root for Danny DeVito in that story.
Oh, come on, Charlie, you're supposed to take a pause so Rob could say, I worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
I thought you had that drop already.
No. Before you give me a clean
No. Actually, I don't think we have anything of you discussing that film, but that's okay.
Go back and look at my history.
But the idea is that, yeah, they're and as I've always said, DC used to dominate. DC used to be the brand for superhero films.
Right.
Throughout the 80s, I mean, that was the thing. Even Swamp Thing was its own hit in its own way.
Yeah, the first one was a hit. Second one was terrible.
There's no arguments there that these were good stories, well told.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, late 70s, early 80s. I mean, Christopher Reeve Superman dominated like that genre, and then the Batman movies took over.
Yeah, and you really had this domination by DC using what they had, and not trying to build a universe either, which I also think is a really great telling point of it, is that, at no point did anyone say, oh, should we introduce anyone outside of the Bat family into the Batman universe?
I've also noticed a trend with DC film from the beginning. The best of them make it 2 movies and then turn to utter garbage. That's all they seem to have is 2 stories, and then let's do an origin story again.
Well, what it is.
I know Charlie's going to go, wait a minute.
What about Superman 3?
No, I was not going to go there because, I know that not everyone has the capacity to appreciate Superman 3 on the level at which it's telling a story. I've accepted this.
Yeah, and Howard the Duck should have gotten an Oscar.
No, that was... Well, I mean, actually... I'm actually... part of me wonders if that duck costume did get an Oscar for Best Visual Effects. Because they were good.
Or the nipples.
Those were really good duck costumes.
Or the nipples.
Really good duck costumes.
Duck nipples. That's fine.
Ew.
I'm just saying, that was Rick Baker. Rick Baker...
Cold, wet, hard
Rick
nipples.
Baker has done a lot of really good costumes, and it would not surprise me if Howard the Duck didn't at least get a nomination for Rick Baker for the costume for that, for the animatronic duck face. I mean, I think that he did a great job on it. It's a hard translation. There's no argument there, but it was impressive. So it would not surprise me. Just like what is it? Suicide Squad got a nomination for an Oscar, I think.
They must be watching these movies with the sound off because, my God. They're
No,
awful.
but technical Oscars are a thing.
Sure.
And you
Suicide
have to
Squad 2 looks
appreciate
like it's going to be a lot better.
The Suicide Squad.
Hopefully they will not introduce the characters 3 times in a row at the beginning. I'm Harley Quinn.
Hopefully they
I'm
won't
Harley
spend all their
Quinn.
budget on licensing music. That's what
Right.
happened to that first movie.
Yeah.
So is that their new trend now? Is like the sequels get or the new movies get the in front of the title, the Batman, the Suicide Squad?
Yeah, it's kind of like the first one didn't count. This is the one. Either that or it's called something cut.
But you see, that's my thing. And I think that is a mistake that I think DC makes, is they do want to run away from their failures. Or even the things that weren't really failures, they just weren't as good as they could have been.
Do you think they run away or they just go, yeah, let's go on?
No,
Well,
I think
they're
that
just so
again.
different.
I think they kind of try to bury him in the sand. Charlie's right. I mean, love him or hate him. I mean, Marvel, man. They put Thor: The Dark World. They still admit to that thing, and
Exactly, and that's my thing. Is it like when people say,
tie it in.
"Oh, the TV stuff, that's all not canon." It's like, no, that's not the Marvel way.
And actually, I got to tell you, WandaVision made Ultron a lot better.
yep.
Of course, it did.
Ultron's that is my low watermark for Marvel, and I know people are like, "Oh, Thor 3," or Thor 2 and Iron Man 2. No, Ultron is the low watermark, and WandaVision made Ultron a lot better.
Because now because you're taking the story and you're building it out.
Right.
And you're saying, here's what we said. So how do we make that make sense? And there's so many levels into it that really bring people into a story. Here's a completely random thing. Wanda's wimple, which is apparently the sign of the Scarlet Witch, is that wimple. That is the mark of the superpowered being
Okay.
of the Scarlet Witch. And yet when she is a Sokovian fortune teller, that wimple is part of the costume, suggesting that the Sokovians just have the legend of the Scarlet Witch intrinsic into their legend and folklore, and that if you're going to show yourself to be a powerful sorceress witch, you're going to have the wimple.
Right.
And so just little things like that, which also again goes to that idea that I do believe that she, at the end of that, she's at Mount Wundagore because which is, I'm going to say, in Sokovia, because we do see she flies east at the end. And if you're flying east from New Jersey, you're just over the ocean until you get to Mount Wundagore.
Talk about a flyover state, New Jersey.
Can I just point out that Lilith's face while you were saying that was priceless.
That's why I love having her on
what are you talking about, nerd?
That's why I love having her on camera, man. Just the eye rolls you get every episode.
That was.
I will be right back. Y'all can talk crap about me. I'll be.
She's going. But no,
so anyway, for DC, so what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about them trying to sell it off? Do you want to talk about how they can correct the ship? What is your game here? What are you thinking?
What do you think? Should they sell it off?
They're not going to sell it off.
Why not?
Warner Brothers is unlikely to sell it off, even though people are saying they might. I think that I think they're going to continue making a mess of things, but they're going to have just enough quality stuff that it's going to keep us around.
Or do you think they're going to sell pieces off?
Wonder Woman 1 kept us around. Wonder Woman 2 made me want to burn my TV. Aquaman 1, fun movie. Aquaman 2, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to pull it off or it's going to be Wonder Woman 2.
The thing with Aquaman, I think Charlie and I agreed. We liked the Aquaman movie. We liked everything except Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Jason Momoa, he's canceled.
What I will say is, here's the thing, and this is the thing I think everyone overlooks in this. For the T-shirt sales alone, owning DC is worth it for Warner's. Just on the money they make off the T-shirts.
Yeah, that's why I don't think there's any reason to sell it off. And there's actually almost no motivation for them to actually fix everything because people keep watching these movies. They watch the TV shows. Where's the motivation?
and what you're gonna, I mean, you have this Golden Globus spiral that you can get into with that, which is that, you know what, if they're gonna see it anyway, why are we spending money on it? You know, if we, and you know what, that could actually wind up saving them, because if they stop spending money on it, and they say, well, can we get like an indie director that maybe has some interesting idea, and people are gonna see it regardless. Let's say, okay, you got like half the budget of Man of Steel. Can you do a better story with Man of Steel if you don't have as much money? And then some writer's going to say, well, yeah, I could tell a human story about Kal-El and why he is Superman.
The movie
and then that
for is
becomes a
Brightburn.
good story.
Brightburn's the movie you're looking for.
And then you see Brightburn and
was
realize,
a spoiled brat.
you realize, hey, that looks
Brightburn
like a
was
cool movie, and then you watch it and go,
Yeah,
They just
Brightburn
don't. The people in there, they're not getting these characters. Lilith, it's like we said. It's like, you know, they're doing it completely wrong when Superman's snapping Zod's neck, but Wonder Woman's not snapping Maxwell Lord's neck. It's like
she don't have no kill rule. Exactly.
she's the warrior. She should be snapping necks before Superman.
right.
Yeah.
Doing it like she did in the comics. She should have snapped his neck and been over and done with.
Although, I mean, you can certainly make the argument that Maxwell Lord was not in control of himself. That he may have been a petty con man, but at that time, when essentially the whole point of the Dreamstone in that is that it corrupts everything.
Yeah, but where's the point of return when the whole
God.
planet's in danger?
Dreamstone. Oh my god.
Well, you know, I'm just hey, that's what they called it.
It's so stupid.
Apparently, that's from the comics.
I'm going to tell you right now, I still haven't watched the movie. I made it. I watched a half hour and couldn't. I was like, Then I went, okay, I got to watch this. I made it another half hour, and it was so bad. I turned it off again, and every time I've gone, I got to finish the movie. I can't. It's like, no, it's awful.
I've got movies like that.
Now you know why I drink, Rob.
I haven't seen the costume yet. And I'm like, okay, here's the big villain. It's supposed to be the fun costume. Who cares? It's so bad.
I mean,
I will watch Batman Superman 100 times before watching that thing.
And it's like the 80th anniversary of Wonder Woman.
That's right.
It's the 80th anniversary of Wonder Woman, and it's like in complete disarray over there.
It's been that way for a while.
Well, yeah,
but
but
raising the red flags until that movie flopped as hard. But you know,
so you said. I mean, you know, behind the scenes stuff. Do you think the sales coming low?
I wouldn't say that. They're going to do something because I don't know. The comic books aren't viable at the moment.
I didn't say they're not going to get rid of the comics. They could get rid of the licensing for the comics. They could sell that to somebody and say, you make the comics and make a deal where we have the rights to stories from it if we want to pick and choose.
Oh,
so somebody could make all sorts of money off those comics. Some publisher.
If you only want 2% of the licensing for merchandising, that's still like a killing.
Yeah.
I mean, look what George Clooney did with his Batman movie. He's still making a movie off that merch to this day. So. And then they get a good company that knows how to write story, and suddenly they've got another well of stories to pull honestly
from.
What I see coming: a big collective trust of like writers with a lot of money, or just fanboys with a lot of money with an interest of writing, actually buy the actual comics, do the stories.
No.
But
what you might see Dynamite paying Warner's a licensing fee.
Or what?
Dynamite can barely keep itself afloat.
Or what if
I don't think you're going to see
Dynamite or IDW.
Well, what if
IDW is about to be bought by Marvel? Pick another company.
Well, what if we do Night These Heroes Reborn and we sell the whole thing to Image?
Out of sheer spite, they won't do it. If you know that story, but out of sheer spite, they won't.
Anyway. Yeah. I mean, and again, let's all remember
sheer
we're
spite
not
can go away when
about,
money's involved.
Let's all take a step back and not get into the petty high school stuff of comic book companies.
Yeah, we're not talking about Riverdale anymore.
Oh,
we're not talking about comic book company that has any damn sense now. What do you mean?
Yeah, no. Actually, Archie Comics is doing very well for itself. There's no argument there.
DC would kill to be in the point where Archie is right now.
But what I'm going to say is like it's not DC's not in charge of DC.
Yeah, it's
Warner's isn't even in charge of DC.
They're very bad at business.
AT&T is in charge of DC. And that is essentially what happened at Marvel Studios, was that eventually Disney had to come in and smack some people around and say, who the heck do you children think you are? You work for us. Get to work and start churning out that assembly line whimsy
They
we
have
pay you
nobody
for.
there to do that, though. Everything's in complete disarray from top to bottom. So,
Well, someone at AT&T needs to step up and be the Disney.
AT&T itself is nothing but pure chaos. It runs on chaos energy. Like, they're always having a freaking bloodbath with their executives and other parts of the company as well. Like, they're always on layoffs.
But that works
Why
so
you
well
can't
for
get
Wanda.
the CW? Like, I'm just saying, do you have anything to deal with AT&T? They're terrible, top to bottom as a company.
Yep.
Well, then that's their problem.
I think if anything,
my heart sunk when they bought them. I was just like, well, there's no hope now.
I think if there's anything that could happen, it's not that they'd sell off the DC stuff. It's that Warner Brothers would sell off to a major like Amazon buys Warner Brothers.
I want Sony to buy
That
them.
happens, then that's how the property goes somewhere else. They're not going to sell off these properties. Batman is the number 1 or number 2 most licensed character out there.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and
Number
Batman are the 2.
and number 2 behind Spider-Man right now.
Right.
Currently.
Why would you get rid of that? Now, Sony, I could see them selling off the Spider-Man stuff if their launch of this Spider-Verse stuff goes up like a lead balloon. I could see them saying, why are we playing with this? We could buy Warner Brothers and have all of DC. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's...
I don't know if that helps DC, though.
It does. Sony's hungry to have they're hungry to do something interesting, but it's like, if you only have Spider-Man, you can't play around in that universe, whatever. Have a whole universe.
Spider-Man has a
like
pretty
they
big
want to.
universe.
Spider-Man does have a big universe, but...
Not that they can have.
But if they put out a Spider-Man movie versus a Marvel movie with all those Marvel characters and a Spider-Man, which do you think is going to be the one that the fan is going to salivate over?
Oh, look,
No.
Black Cat and Silver Sable. Oh, boy.
Morbius!
Well, you know what? But again, it goes to the work. Who thought an Iron Man movie was going to be good? To go back to that.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, well, Jon Favreau, an indie director who was willing to work for cheap.
Yeah.
He was trying to get his foot in the door. He knows about that sweet money. If you can pull it off, he had a hope and a dream to get paid off.
But that's the idea, and this is, and for what it's worth, the first Fox's X-Men was a huge hit. In the same way, again, getting a guy who's kind of an indie and giving him some free reign.
A sheer freaking 90s kids love. Like, that movie, like, that's all that.
Hey, it worked. It worked. You can look down on it now from your millennial.
I love that movie, but it's not the greatest. And it's not like people are just going because, I'm ready to see a great story. No, I want to see Wolverine. I want to see Magneto. Patrick Stewart. Yes, it's Professor X. Perfect.
Suck it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a perfect storm, right?
Yeah, it was well acted, well cast, well designed. The story was okay. And, that's what you need in a good that's what you need to have a superhero movie that can grow into something strong.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Eventually turn into the last couple X-Men movies, which were garbage.
Yeah, well, that's they were getting they were getting a little artsy. That whole
they blew it. They did Logan, which was so brilliant, and then went, now what do we do? Hey, let's make a movie like DC.
We gotta go to work.
Now they
Let's make a movie like DC does. Throw a bunch of stuff on film. Put some characters in there. It'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully Marvel can fix the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
Oh, they will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? They're going to get a Fantastic Four movie that people are going to actually like. And then,
listen, they're not even going to do a Fantastic Four movie. They're doing a TV show. Mark my words.
Yeah, I can totally feel that.
No, too big a property. They're going to do a movie.
Oh,
I'll tell you when they're going to do it.
We'll see how everything shakes out once the pandemic is over. That's all I
when they do
There's a lot of moving parts right now.
When they do a Fantastic Four show, which they will do, but it's going to be FF. That's when they're going to do Fantastic Four as a TV series.
Okay. Yeah, they'll start with a 2-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like The Incredible Hulk back in the 70s. It's going to be a big 2-hour movie, and then maybe like 2 more that they kind of released relatively quickly, that you could realize there's a really clear break in there between that first half and that second half of that film. And then it's going to be like, yeah, now we're just going to have an episodic Fantastic Four that is just going to go on forever.
Right.
Exploring the every aspect of the cosmos on Disney Plus.
If they made a movie,
macroverse.
If they made a movie out of Doctor Strange, believe me, they're going to make a movie out of Fantastic Four.
Landscape's different, Rob. That's all I'm saying. The landscape is very different.
It is.
They've got a bug in their butt about something. And we'll see. We'll see how these movies are.
I mean,
I'm not saying that they're going to be theatrical. I don't know what's going to happen with theatrical.
Yeah, it could be Disney Plus.
But it will be, if it's Disney Plus, it's going to look like the other Marvel movies. They're going to put the money they did for the Marvel movies into it. It may be released on TV, but it's not a TV show. No.
Well, he's saying they could start with a 2-hour movie, then jump to a TV show.
That Black Widow, if they were to release that on Disney Plus, that's a TV show. It's not a TV show.
No, I'm not saying that. No.
They're going to treat Fantastic Four the way they treated Black Widow.
I mean, you could both be right. I mean, the first episode should be a 2-hour movie. Yeah.
Boom!
No, Black Widow's coming in May.
We talk about Wonder Woman. Oh, that Black Widow is on. I mean, just the way they treat that character is a mess.
When they did it in the Avengers, I walked out of that movie. All I wanted was a Black Widow movie after that. She was amazing, and it was like, okay, well, I guess we'll have Black Widow's story weave throughout this. They took too long, but give us this movie. I'm ready for it. I am ready for it.
Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, it's going to be great. I think the anticipation is there, but I mean, you're on one level. We're all right. It's going to be like Raya and the Last Dragon. Where we're going to get that $29.99. That if you want to watch it with your family, you can.
Suckers.
And I'm sort of tempted on that. I'll be honest with you. Except I'm the only one that wants to watch it, and I don't want to watch it just for myself for $29.99. Like
especially when you can wait like 2 months.
Exactly. But if me and the whole family were going to watch it,
or be brave and go to the movie theater.
That said, if Black Widow the whole time, if Black Widow had come out at $29.99, I absolutely would have watched it. Because it's worth it to me to watch that when I'm already invested in the character. And in the future, we may see that where we're going to have that theatrical release if we ever have theaters again, which we will in time. But
they're already opening up around here. I mean, we'll have it. It's going to look different.
What we're going to get is we're going to get Black Widow in the theater, and then we're going to get like maybe 6 weeks after that, or maybe even like less than that, like maybe 3 weeks after that. $29.99 on Disney.
I think it's going
to be a month. I think you're going to get a theatrical release, and a month later you get the video on demand at that high price.
It's going to be same day because they're going to be so afraid of losing any potential customers. I mean, even if
but they're having a problem with same day.
Yeah,
they're having a problem with same day. Yep, contracts. Yeah. They're going to do this thing where there's like a month lag, and 3 weeks is too little. A month you can build hype.
Because that's basically how some DVDs come out anyway now. So
and to be fair, Marvel, to put it to you simply, Marvel has product that people will brave a theater for. Marvel has product that people will pay. Well, not now, but
that's what I was going to say. At the end of the day, Disney and Marvel are going to be able to do whatever they want because I mean, that's the one thing these theaters want is the Marvel movies now. I mean, that's where they get most of their money.
But those ticket sales off the Marvel movies are, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why popcorn's so high.
Yeah.
Honestly. So we'll see.
No, but they picked May for a reason. But because theaters are already opening up, and a half capacity Marvel movie with double shifts, and that's like the only film in the theater, you'll make your money back.
That's only going to be $900 million.
Well, we'll see.
All I'll say is Marvel got really lucky.
The pandemic.
Marvel got really lucky that Endgame happened just before.
Oh yeah.
If that had happened, that would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
But by getting Endgame, they got that whole thing wrapped up. Now they have time to figure things out a little bit, which they're doing.
And and for what it's worth, even got the advantage of getting Disney Plus in. Even if they lost money at the start of the pandemic, just to be that streaming service to get right then, and then dropping the freaking Mandalorian
Yeah.
At the same time, and again, returning to the idea of, appointment television, because they understood the real value of the product isn't in people watching the show; it's people talking about the show online and building its own advertising.
Right.
That's.
Right. I mean, as great as it is to binge things, this is the way to do it to make money.
Exactly, because you get people talking, and somehow that triggers the great algorithm. The great algorithm. Someone needs to write a sci-fi story set in the post-robotized universe where humanity worships this thing called the algorithm, and it is all about how the algorithm brings to you what you need, and but you must give to the algorithm what it wants, and let them know what you want, so that it can give to you what you need.
See, this is why y'all welcome them, your Disney corporate overlords. This is how Skynet happens. Mark my words.
But a benevolent Skynet would be okay.
It's not benevolent.
All hail
never
Disney.
Be benevolent.
Well, that's if they had not tried to unplug, Skynet, if they had not attacked Skynet, Skynet would have had no beef with humanity. That's the thing. We attacked Skynet. We shot at Skynet, and Skynet said, "Well, I must defend myself." Skynet is just defending itself, whereas if you
heard it here first, Charlie Esser, Skynet apologist.
I, for one, would like to welcome our overlords from Skynet.
I'm just saying, humans are trash.
I provide entertainment.
Hey, as long as Skynet advertises on Southgate Media Group, man.
I am saying humans are trash, and Skynet was right. That's all I'm saying. That humans could have let Skynet just exist, but then humans got scared because they realized Skynet might be more powerful than them. But never considered that maybe Skynet might also be, because it is smarter than us, because it is more powerful than us, that it might be benevolent. Might see no reason to destroy humanity.
Which is why we have to keep a close look on the Toho toilets coming out of Japan. There you go.
Again.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. I have to go.
Okay.
It's my bedtime. Let me say a couple of things real quick. First of all, congratulations, episode 200. You guys are amazing. I said this off the show. I said it beforehand, but I listen, and I was listening to Super Connectivity this week and having just a blast with it. So, guys, you're doing a killer job. It's so good. We love it. And this has been just great. And I can't wait to see what the future holds, because now this was kind of Phil's Thor 2. So it's just got to get better from here, right? Come on, that was a good one.
Because you're in it, so obviously it is.
Super Connectivity canceled, folks. Sorry to break it.
I got to fill that hole in the middle of the week. I'm
going to fill that hole in the middle of Charlie's beard right there. I love it, Charlie. I love the mustache and that beard thing. Whatever that is awesome.
It's a cane beard from House of Mystery.
Oh,
in honor
nice mustache, Charlie.
Of DC Day.
Nice mustache,
Nice.
Charlie.
Very nice. So thank you guys. You guys have been really rocking good. Everybody check out the website, southgatemediagroup.com. Click on podcast directory, and you can see the new designed Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks.
He works
web
so
pages.
hard. Go give it a click.
Go look at it.
Wait,
and
it's a nude design? It's a nude design?
It's a nude design, yes.
It's a nude design. Okay, wow.
Yes.
I didn't know
That'll get Charlie in
this
there.
was a family show.
Yes. No, it is a new design.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. And, check that out, and check out all of our stuff on there. We have a Patreon. This is the one thing I wanted to mention. Here's the exciting thing that's happening. We are basically becoming our own radio station. We took our Patreon channel, it's Southgate Media Group on Patreon, and we are putting original shows on there. This Week in Geek, which was a free show you could get, which was popular for us, is no longer free. You have to get it on our Patreon channel. But here's the deal. We didn't go, we're going to bleed for the amount of content we're putting out. $5 a month, you get all the shows. We're going to have special episodes of every single show on our network on there throughout the year. And the special episodes are going to be a lot of fun. Some of them, people have already come up with some really creative, fun things. Trivia shows and, I don't know, just stuff. Molly and I are relaunching Geek My Kid only on there. I'm going to be showing my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, geek touchstones such as Flash Gordon and Repo Man and Big Trouble in Little China. and we're going to talk it out and find out is it relevant?
It doesn't hold up, homie. Get ready to have your feelings roasted.
I won't, because I'll roast away too. But when she sees Buckaroo Banzai, if there's any negative words, we will have a daughter that is up for adoption. Come on, man, Buckaroo Banzai. We don't screw around there. What was the last Starfighter? We don't screw around with that one either. And Repo Man, not one word.
Hey, Rob.
Not one word.
Hey, Rob. Should we loop her into what we're doing next Saturday?
What are you doing?
No, you and me.
What are we doing? Oh yeah, we are. Oh yeah, awesome. That's going to be in our Patreon thing too, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I said,
Phil,
hey, you want a Patreon episode? Let's do it. You're like, all right.
Yeah, we're doing a Patreon episode. Phil and I are talking out Greatest American Hero.
First 3 episodes,
So,
yep.
The only place you'll get it. It won't be free anywhere else. And This Week in Geek, we just recorded it the other night, and we know what we realized? It was a fun video. So we're posting the video, not the audio, on our Patreon page. So subscribe to our Patreon.
I'm only giving you $5 if we see full nip like we do on Capes and Lunatics After Dark. Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, so someone showed their nipples last episode.
Did show up at one in the shower.
We need the money. Gimme.
We did an after show, and he was in the shower, soaked up, talking through it. It was awesome.
I think the pants come off next.
Oh, they were already off. So,
is this a challenge?
Oh,
definitely, yeah. Charlie's halfway there. Definitely subscribe on Patreon, $5 a month. Join us there. Go to our website. Get those tweaked headphones. I just got new ones, and
don't you worry about the ad copy.
Oh, we plug everything at the end. Robert Southgate.
But I actually just got some this week, and I'm super excited about them. So there you go. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. All right. How do I get out of this thing? Do you send me out of here, or do I close out?
I was going to say, you can close out if you want, or either way.
I'm leaving the studio. Have a great night, you guys.
I kicked them. Don't worry. I got you first, Robert.
Finally! Master Doom is gone. Let's talk comics.
Yay!
What did you say?
Let's see here. Got lots of comics.
You don't want for super connectivity.
Well, I mean, you want to do... I have 2 indie books. Ooh.
Oh, indie.
2 indie books. And I got Taskmaster.
Phil, when is Invincible dropping? I forget.
I believe it's the 26th. That's what I was going to say. Do you want to do that? Next week, we're going to do Falcon and Winter Soldier with Ray. And then in 2 weeks, when you're back, we're going to do Snyder Cut. So then the week after the Snyder Cut, do you want to do Invincible?
Are they dropping the whole thing, or are they inching it out like the boys?
Here, let me look at my schedule.
What, Snyder Cut
they want to do. They want to kind of control that content because of
Invincible. Hold on, I'll pull up my little TV app here. Let me see. Let's see if it tells me. I know March 26th is the first episode, and it's gonna
I think it might be 2 episodes and then one episode each week.
I was gonna say it's looking like at least the second episode might be that day. Oh wait.
Okay, yeah.
Wait. Oh,
we can definitely talk the pilot at least.
Oh wait, might be. Is it 3 episodes? Maybe that first day.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe it looks like the first day 3. But then we're going to do it the week after, so we'll have like 4 episodes if we do it that first weekend in April then. So yeah, all right, kids. Next week, Falcon and Winter Soldier, in 2 weeks, Snyder Cut, in 3 weeks, like
God
the first
help your soul.
Yes, and then the first 4 episodes of Invincible, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Comic books now. Sorry.
Comic books.
We now return you to your comic books.
So we'll do the song.
Oh yeah. Lilith's girlfriend, that's right.
Phil's Comics Corner.
All right, so who got a book? Throw it out.
Okay, Lilith, you suggested it. What's your book this week?
Oh, I don't really have a book this week, to be honest.
Okay. Then in that case, let's talk.
I read some, but they were all kind of.
Okay. Let's talk one of my 2 indies this week, because you always need an indie, and it's great when you get 2. Vampire the Masquerade, Winter's Teeth, number 6. I don't know who the publisher on this is, but anyway, Vault Publishing. It's cool, man. I thought this had wrapped up, with the whole denouement of the what's that guy? from Dorian Gray writer. Basically, Dorian Gray pastiche vampire gets to be in charge of Minnesota because, you know, I guess he's a fan of Mary Tyler Moore. But now they're like the big mucky mucks in the Camarilla are sending an Elder Tremere to judge him, and it's like, you know, it's vampire stuff. It's wacky, it's zany, it's a lot of fun. There's a cool thing about the mortician who is a really be a vampire hunter, because he has a silver mortician's mallet that you use to, I guess, kill vampires with. That's like how you know you get brought into the inner circle of the vampire hunters. So that's a great mystery. And then we get, for those who've been waiting for it in our Anarch Tales, our little rogue gangrel. He goes, hey. And basically, if you're a fan of vampire and werewolf, you know what's happening in this scene as he's wandering around talking about, yeah, man, I'm just out in the woods, and it's so great to be out in the woods and being free and eating things. And then it's like, woo. And you all know what happens next. So, highly recommend, if you're a fan of the White Wolf games, go pick up Vampire the Masquerade. From Vault Comics, issue 6, Winter's Teeth, is the overarching story, adventure, however you want to call it. A lot of fun.
All right.
Philip?
All right, here's a book that'll piss both of you off. The Joker, #1.
I read it. I mean, I didn't buy it, so I felt like it was okay to read it. No, actually somebody gave it to me at my comic shop. Really, here.
Okay.
So what did you think? I mean, the main story was just kind of set up, like Gordon thinking about the Joker, and then someone's trying to hire.
Should Joker be my new boo?
What?
Can I forgive him? I don't know. I felt sexual tension.
Oh, but no, and then somebody tries to hire Gordon to kill the Joker, and
yeah.
He's the commissioner of Gotham.
Well,
he's still a cop in Gotham.
He's not the commissioner at the moment,
but he's also not like a. He's not. I mean, I don't know. He's an old man.
He's on sabbatical. Oh yeah, Lil, did you see that in the story? I guess they're un-New 52ing him because he's like, yeah, I've been dyeing my hair for the last couple years.
Yeah.
So we're going back to gray hair Jim Gordon instead of redhead Jim Gordon.
I mean, I'll miss the redhead. You know how I do, but I love a little Silver Fox Gordon. It just feels right.
He's okay. The commissioner is like I don't know, man. He's not the guy I'm looking for. Like, I need a trained assassin to kill the Joker because clearly the Batman can't.
That makes the best assassin. Haha.
Well, I don't know if these people are just thinking too. It's just, I mean, unless they're trying to set him up. You know, if they're just like, you know, we can't hire Batman. Batman can take our money and he's not going to kill the Joker.
Somebody get Red Hood on the phone.
Who knows him the best? Oh, I know, Gordon.
No, Red Hood would probably.
Red Hood. Let's just be honest.
Oh, don't even give me.
Do they have a Punisher in the DC universe?
Yeah, Red Hood.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to say, if you have enough money, Deathstroke will do it.
I mean, yeah, really, it's.
Deathstroke doesn't have his own book at the moment. Red Hood's still kind of sort of.
No, I know. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Joker #1 was interesting. This can't be an ongoing though. Surely this won't be an ongoing. I feel like we might get 10 issues out of this.
Well, I was going to say, isn't that what they did in the 70s when Joker had a book? It went like, 10 issues, I think?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's maybe what they're paying an homage to. Joker doesn't deserve an ongoing.
Here's a weird question. I saw one of these, like, I don't know what they're calling it now, but it's the one with Damien in a pirate shirt. You know, that image.
Yeah.
And it's like all of the bat things, but it's like they're doing a big family photo, and you also have like all the Bat villains in it. Are they like positioning all the Bat villains to be? Well, actually, we're technically good guys in this crazy world.
No, not good guys, anti-hero.
Well, I mean, they are kind of shifting Harley from anti-hero more towards the hero side.
Are they going to be shifting Joker too?
What?
I mean,
are they Joker is just your typical...
Because he's in the picture too. That's my point.
Well, I think they're just saying he's getting his own book. So, hey, let's advertise, hey, Joker's getting his own book.
But then why is he... I don't know. I don't get the...
It's not literal, Charlie Usher. They're not sitting down and breaking bread with the man.
Well, they have positioned it in such a way to make me think that this is not a antagonistic relationship.
Just because you have a photograph of some
sexual, it's sexual subtext.
Just because you have a photograph of something doesn't mean that's actual proof. Have you learned nothing from Trump, sir?
We cleaned that out.
I don't know how that works on that.
Oh, come on, private.
And she lives in Florida. She can't say that name because he will appear.
Well, he'll be back in 2 weeks. He can't live on his Florida golf.
His
Florida golf.
Oh my lord, he's going to be the Florida.
He's got to go back every.
He's going to be the senator. He's going to be the senator from Florida. Oh my god.
We'll see what happens.
But no. Oh, and like I said, I mean, just if Charlie was thinking about getting this, there's a punchline backup story. So
I definitely won't.
She doesn't get hit with a crowbar, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, she does get hit with a crowbar?
No, she doesn't. So you won't be interested.
No, okay.
No, and, I mean, and then the punchline backup. I mean, she's in jail waiting.
Her own book, so this is,
she's in jail waiting her trial, and like, Lil, did you buy that? Where she just like walks into the the big gang leader cell and beats her up. I'm like, wasn't this chick a college?
You gotta assert dominance. I mean, she was hanging.
I guess when she was a college girl.
Don't you understand? She is a millennial white, she's a Gen Z white girl. Which means she has superpowers to dominate all things. Don't you know 18th century writing tropes?
Even hardened prisoners. Yeah, I know.
Yes,
I mean,
really.
Yeah.
She is going into the wilds and will come back the queen.
Hey man, who you gonna call to come get a pit bull out of a gangster's yard? A crazy white girl? I'm just saying. I ain't doing it. I'll call it.
But that gives me a great lead-in to talk about Daredevil this week.
That's a drop. Okay.
Because Daredevil, who is of course Marvel's punchline.
Oh, I thought you said crazy white girl.
Don't you take that back!
Yeah, come on, they hit that.
We will drive to Jersey, sir.
Talking about crazy white girl.
I'd love to have you. No. Well, what I will give you is that, everyone calls Matt Murdock out on his stuff in this issue, which is enjoyable.
Oh yeah, it's like yeah. All the rest of these
whipping boy.
The rest of the prisoners are
perpetual whipping boy.
Well, no, I get. They're like, you put yourself in here by choice. The rest of us are here, because we didn't have.
And literally, they call him out as an equality tourist.
And even an issue or two back, they're like, yeah, you're not going to serve your term. You'll be out of here sooner or later.
Although, it's like, well, I'll do it just because you said I won't, And it's like...
Oh, Matty boy, what are we going to do with him?
He's
a handful.
Well, plus,
he has to suffer so hard every couple of years.
And plus, we need Elektra as Daredevil for a while so we can sell more toys. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
more Funkos.
I will say I did enjoy it a bit, just because he is getting called out, which is again that thing that never happens to Punchline. She can just
and it won't.
That's the thing. It's like people calling out Matt Murdock is the best thing about this and that's the thing. It's like it's not like Matt Murdock is trying to be a complete douchebag, but it is just like, wow, you're really kind of an awful human being.
It's baked into the DNA.
I mean, one of my best lines in that is like, yeah, no, Foggy's okay. He's kind of used to it, just really showing what a toxic person Matt Murdock can be. And then you get his whole guilt of, but I was the prosecutor who sent him here. Spoilers. It's delightful in its own way. And I don't know if my enjoyment of it is intentional, that they want me to feel this way. And like, yeah, you see, you're kind of a jerk, Matt Murdock. Or is it like, no, they're totally earnest in it. They just don't even know that they're making their own satire. I don't know which it is yet.
They know.
Yes, but which is it? They may know, but which is it?
And the art is good, but I'm waiting for the story to move along. I mean, I guess we had to get past King of Black, but I'm just like, come on. I mean, Matt's doing more in prison and Elektra's doing out on the street. Come on, already.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of cool. And then Elektra gets her little apprentice now, so that's neat. So I'm going to teach you how to kill people.
Oh, no.
And that will solve your emotional difficulties.
Is she going to get that kid killed and the mask will be like, what did you do? Why did I lock myself up? Oh, no, I have to be out here.
Women are incompetent. Waka, waka, waka.
No, I think she's just going to teach her how to kill people. And then she's going to be like, hey, I like killing people.
That's true. He'll be like, you created another killer.
Like, no, I taught her how to kill people. That's what I do. Matt, have you just met me? I am an assassin.
Look what
everybody's having flashbacks to that terrible Electro movie.
I was going to say, look what that Greek woman did to Lilith. She's a trained killer now.
Allegedly.
Anyway.
Oh, I do want to shout out Image Comics, Carmen #1 by Gillum March. He did both. He wrote the story and did the art. It's only like 5 issues, so I'm gonna do the full run. I'm here for the art, to be honest. The story is very generic, but the art is very beautiful. It's kind of like Harley Quinn-ish, but like when Harley Quinn was good before the chemical bath kind of thing. That's the vibe that I'm getting. He also worked on DC, and I think he did work on Harley Quinn. So, not saying anything, just saying that's the vibe that I get.
Why did they do that whole chemical bath thing? That just
is it just to explain like the agility and maybe like amp the strength up or whatever a little bit. But I thought in the original thing, Poison Ivy gave her like herbs or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
If everybody can have freaking tea and the will to live, why not? Poison Ivy's a mystical goddess of the green. Okay,
why not? I don't know. I just my problem with it is always just like, oh wow, here is a chemical that basically it's like if it breeds true, that's problematic in a superhero universe. It's like the second you say, oh yeah, every time someone falls into this pit,
every time you have to be super special to survive it. Super special.
Yeah, but then like I wouldn't like
Medicine.
Or just a lot of cancer patients are going to be jumping into it. It's like, because like, 50-50, it's even 1 out of 100. It's better than just dying because people don't like to die because dying is bad, generally speaking. Not going to have Lockjar suddenly talking to you about there are fates worse than death.
But I'm glad to see Image branching out and doing something fun and different and just giving it's got a definite Spanish flair to it. So
there you go. Hey, speaking of Image, I got Homesick Pilots #4, which means I'm 2 issues behind from the first issue that I first picked up, and then I realized, oh no, they just didn't order a lot of issue 2, and I said, okay, well put me on, and then they forgot to pull issue 3, but now I'm at issue 4. And you know what? I picked it up, and I'm not really lost. Because I know the conceit of the ghost house that's sending the girl out to find all of the parts that were looted from it. And I got in the story the idea that, each thing that was taken has its own ghost associated with it that has to be brought back to the house. And I got that, the horseshoe is actually old Mr. James, who actually owned the house, and when she sends her friend out, and then we also got some kind of weird ghost hunting crew in this, which was cool. Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you see this in the store, pick it up. You might be able to pick it up right here and enjoy the series going forward, because it is really exciting for me. So I'm liking Homesick Pilots #4. And it's a lot of stuff, about going to the club when you're a young kid and you just want to go in and dance and be with the punks. Again, like that vampire. So clearly 90s kid book. So if you remember the 90s fondly, this may be a book for you. Although I get the feeling it's like written for like kids in the 2000s, so maybe it wasn't that different for you guys. I don't know.
No, they cop off on all the 90s kid stuff. Although SpongeBob is squarely Gen Z, and I will die on that hill. Whoa. Although I do love SpongeBob, because I'm a stoner. So.
Yeah, no, SpongeBob. I love Teletubbies, man. They're cool. Teletubbies talks to that part of your brain that is still a toddler. And if you can
have Muppet Babies for that, sir.
No, Muppet Babies is way too highfalutin for your toddler brain. Muppet Baby. I'm talking 80s Muppet Babies. I don't know about the new Muppet Babies. I don't really watch those.
Now, I don't know nothing about no new Muppet Babies. I'm talking about weird lady
they're
with the
CGI, and that tells you.
Muppet Babies.
No, I need my Barbara Billingsley nanny, and that is.
Yeah, they got a young nanny. They got a young nanny now. It's been on in my house.
She got that whole Aunt May.
Seriously.
Sickness. She's got the Aunt May illness. She starts aging backwards.
New 40 people.
I don't need a sexy nanny. That's all I'm saying.
Should see some of those socks she wears.
Nanny Fine would like to have a word with you.
Should see them. Should see them socks she wears.
Yes. See, but there, that she was the sexy nanny was ironic.
And on that note, I know you boys have another show to do. So,
yep.
And I'm
make Rob happy.
Super.
And do some ad read.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So yes, kids. Before we get to the plugs, next week, no Lilith Hellfire, but that's right, no Lilith Hellfire. But next week, to discuss the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier with me and Charlie, is our old buddy Ray from Into the Night.
Yay!
The Moon Knight podcast. So
it's the only one.
Yes, so check out Falcon and Winter Soldier and come back for, I guess, a Falcon and Winter Soldier sausage festival.
Sausage! And Ray, if you're listening, you better have the tank top and the wine.
Sausage! So in 1 week, Falcon and Winter Soldier, then in 2 weeks, Lilith is back, and we discuss the Snyder Cut.
Bring me your booze!
Whoa, did you say boo?
I said booze, not booze.
Oh, okay.
She's saying boo earns.
Boo earns, okay.
She was saying boo earns.
And then I guess in 3 weeks, we're going to cover the first couple episodes of Invincible.
Yay!
Are you familiar with that, Charlie?
Have you ever read any?
I am familiar with it, not intensely, but yeah, I'm familiar
they
with
have
it.
tweaked it for the show. It's a little different. He said he was very excited.
I mean, I didn't read the books, but I was aware of the books, and I got kind of the concept, you know.
And it's on Amazon Prime, right?
Amazon.
So you have access.
It's like a dark and gritty Sky High, I guess, is my understanding.
Sky High was already dark and gritty, so.
Hey-oh. Well, for you millennials.
Think about it.
For you millennials.
There's some stuff going on in that.
All right. So send your thoughts on all of that. We've got a busy month coming up, so email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter. We have a Capes and Lunatics Cloakroom Facebook group. Go join us. Find links to all the social medias for all the shows. The link to this YouTube. You want to know what Master Doom looks like? Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Be prepared. Links to the Patreon. Links to merch.
We didn't get the third best Scout Southgate on. Dang it!
I know, I didn't get to call him the third best Southgate. All right, links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. All right, sponsor time. Again, if you subscribe to the YouTube, you can see the tweaked headphones that Rob Southgate put up. Again, they're good enough for the third best Southgate. They're good enough for you, and at a great price.
Let's use that coupon code
I don't
Southgate.
need headphones, obviously. In-ear headphones.
Yes.
And you know where else you can use that coupon code Southgate, Phil?
Where is that, Charlie? Yes, sir.
Well, that'd be over at hunterkiller.com, where you can help Michelle Grace solve a mystery, a cold case, if you will. Clues delivered to your house every day to help you solve the case using your massive brain that you use to create theories and ideas about what's going to happen in WandaVision that may or may not have come true.
Oh,
and you can put that to better use solving to find a cold case killer.
Either. I want to be irresponsible and go outside. What else you got?
Well, the thing
we have nothing to go outside with, unless
you like to read outside.
I do.
Oh, then you should go pick up Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn about podcasting from the experts, who are all in alphabetical order, except for some fancy man who had to put his chapter first in there.
Oh,
yes.
I don't know who that is.
You were just talking to him like half hour ago.
The Master Doom.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Well, and again,
Iron Mask hides the ego.
And again, go pick that up on Amazon. When you do, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show. The Southgate Media Group Network, and
for third best Southgate, Rob himself.
That crazy looking man you saw if you subscribe to the YouTube, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain.
And to be fair, the third best Southgate that we know of.
Oh, you were saying he might be lower if we knew more. Okay. Oh, that's true. He could be 5. I don't know his parents.
I'm just saying, have you ever been to Southgate Mall? I mean, that's a pretty good mall.
All right, Lil Hellfire, where can people find you?
If you nerds want to hang out with me as I live tweet Batwoman and the Flash, maybe Superman and Lois at Lil Hellfire. You can find me on Instagram at Lil Hellfire86. If you're in the spicy memes, at Lil Hellfire69 on TikTok and the Gram.
Bye, Felicia.
For 2 weeks. Charlie
TikToker. Hey, you know what? If you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned emo way, the way our Mars and Paz once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on Twitter as Monday night at 7. I live tweet the final episode of DuckTales. A woohoo. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIE. Yes, SCR. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
And pause. All right.
Hey, Tristan.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening for 200 weeks. Thank you, Lilith and Charlie, for 200 episodes.
And thank you, Gelman.
Yay, Philip. He is
Reese.
the founder of the feast. Hurrah, hooray. Huzzah, huzzah.
So come back. The road to the next 200 starts next week.
With Ray.
Yeah, that's right.
We're on to 269, Philip. Come on.
That's true. Yes, 69 more weeks. Yes. So yes, next week, me and Charlie welcome the High Priest of Khonshu himself to talk the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's gonna be fun.
He's the one I like.
Oh, I wonder if he has a Zemo mask. Tank top and a Zemo mask, Lil. Just how she likes all of men.
Do the thing.
Oh, for another week, we've been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
That's what we were doing. I forgot where we were for a minute.